Hello Astro subscribers. I'm out here in the woods and I thought, I know I started the video on, or the series on like Vedic Lords and everything yesterday, and I did say in my Exalted and Debilitated K2 video that I would take suggestions into account, and I did get a suggestion for what my next video should be, and somebody was asking about stelliums, and I am still going to go ahead and finish out the Vedic Lord system, because that one is like super useful, and I think if people understand the rest of the content on this channel, then they will be able to understand that with some effort. But since I did say I'd take advice for my next video, I'm going to make a short video explaining the concept of a stellium. A stellium is a concept, I believe it's from Western astrology, the sort of hermetic version that was created or evolved in the Middle Ages in Europe, specifically mostly Britain, Germany, and France. And it basically means either a sign or a house with 3 planets in it. And there are as many stelliums as there are combinations of 3 or more planets, so I can't make a video on all of them, obviously. So the general rule with stelliums is, imagine that your life is a series or a cycle of rule by various planets, by various subpersonalities. So, sometimes you're hungry, that's Rahu. Sometimes you're in love, that's Venus. Sometimes you want to be comfortable, that's Moon. Sometimes you're expressing your ego, that's Sun. Sometimes you're angry, that's Mars. And these things are kind of on a loop. And of course, you can break the loop, and that's effectively what magic is understanding the presence of the loop to transcend the loop with aims of hopefully improving your life and the world around you. Or you can just go by the loop, and in the Vedic tradition that would be like essentially just playing into the cycle of samsara, going with the flow, so to speak, as the hippies in America say. So if you have a stellium in your chart, let's say, for example, you're a Leo ascendant with 3 planets in Gemini, let's just say, for the sake of argument, in the 11th house, because that's where Gemini is in the context of a Leo ascendant. That would mean that, let's say the cycle has 12 planets in it, that would mean that 1/4 of the time, if you have 3 planets in one place, 1/4 of the time you are going to be dominated by a particular archetype, a particular subpersonality, or at least very similar versions of the same subpersonality, because again, you could have various planets there. You could have Moon, Mercury, Venus, you could have Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, whatever it is. A large portion of your time is going to be spent in that mental space. There was a monk named, God, I can't remember his name. Anyway, he's an Indian monk. I'll put his name in the description once I remember it. But he said that you practice what you become, or you become what you practice, rather, and most people practice distracting themselves every day. They're like master distractors, master self-distractors. And if you have a stellium, you are practicing unconsciously. Your natural mode of being is to practice that particular combination of archetype. So what that basically means is that person, let's say that Leo ascendant with 3 planets in Gemini, they're going to be really good at networking and communicating. Like, because they're unconsciously, without any effort. Like, if they're on a treadmill, that treadmill spends 25% of its time in that mental zone, of that zone of mass networking, mass communicating, making connections for the sake of improving status, for the sake of improving their job. And that's just one example. But basically, that's my answer to the stellium question. Is wherever you have a stellium, however many planets are in that stellium, it's a minimum of 3. You're going to spend, if there's 3 planets in the stellium, you're going to spend a quarter of your mental energy in that state. 25% of your entire life is spent in that state. If it's 4 planets out of 12, that's like, a third of your mental energy in that state. If it's 6 planets out of 12, I've only met one person with that. You're going to spend half of your mental energy in that state. And as a result, you are going to practice that. And it would be like if you spent half your time practicing becoming anything. After a few years of that, you're going to be really good at it, right? Now, the trade-off to that is that you're going to give up all the other things you could be. But that's what life is. You can't be everything. You have to be something, or some combination of things, some finite number of things, because we're all finite. And the amount of things we could theoretically be is infinite. So that is basically my answer to the question of what happens with stelliums. Practice makes better. And if you spend a third of your time practicing something, or a fourth of your time practicing something, you are going to be a reflection of that. So yeah. I'm going to keep doing the Vedic Lord series, so keep tuning in for that, and I appreciate all the subscribers. Have a good one.